Hi, welcome to the latest CubeSnap tutorial for iOS. If you're watching this, you probably just downloaded the app and may have a few questions, so hopefully this tutorial will help you solve your mixed up cube with as few tears as possible. Let's jump right into the app. I've added a lot of features since the last tutorial, and I just kind of want to go over them along with the basics. So let's start with the settings menu. First thing you want to make sure is that the cube selected kind of matches the one you have. This will help with color recognition. See, I've already selected the one I have. You probably have the one on the furthest far left. And also, you can choose which pattern you want to solve to. Probably you just want to solve to this one at the start, but here we have a checkerboard if you wish. So what will happen is that it'll solve to the regular state first, and then it'll solve to the pattern you've selected. So if you want to stop just at a regular state, you can, or you can continue. Sorry. So let's go back. All right. So let's look at this primary kind of input interface. So with this app, what I try to do is be as effective as possible in helping you kind of enter your cube by giving you a lot of features, and then I try to make it the solving instructions as simple as possible. So let's look at some of these entry features. The primary way to do it is with the camera. And so what you would want to do is just find the side with the blue center square. I'll find it eventually. There we go. And then just line it up with the grid. It doesn't have to be exact, but try to be as good as possible. And it'll just magically kind of enter in those colors. Now it doesn't matter which kind of side you are holding it, which orientation. Just find the side with that matches the color there in the middle, and you're good. One thing I've also added, because it can be awkward sometimes maybe to enter the colors depending on kind of the size of hands you have or whatnot, I added an extra camera button. So it kind of makes it easier to insert if you want to do it this way or this way, or if you have smaller hands, just maybe it's easier to press this one than that one. I'll go ahead and use this one because I think that's most comfortable for me. So let me continue entering this cube. All right, great. Let's say that it got something incorrect. You can correct a color simply by tapping it. I didn't get it incorrect, but I'm just going to kind of show you how it works. And hopefully it'll just take one or two presses, because it kind of puts forth its best guess and second best guess. Hopefully the second best guess is right. And it'll just go in a loop. So if you end up missing the color you want, it'll go back to the one that you need. So let's go to the green side. Also, as you correct, the camera will kind of learn your cube, and hopefully errors will be fewer as you go along. Okay, great. Looks like we're still good. The red side. I think we're still good. Oops, actually we're not. We have an orange that looks like it should be a red, so I'm going to tap that. There we go. And as you notice, as we've continued, these numbers go up. Essentially, by the end, what you want is 9 of 9 of each, right? That makes sense. And so this will kind of help you keep track with where you are. It might be that you make a mistake and have 10 of one, and so when that happens, it'll actually highlight the colors that are too many for you here on these mini views. So let's go to the yellow side. Looks like we're still good. And for the last one, I want to show off the manual input feature. And the way you do that is simply just tap one of these colors here. So what we have is now we're in manual input mode, and we have a cross here, which is where the first color will be entered. The cross will move from left to right, top down. So what do? We just tap the colors that represent the color. So we have white, white, orange, white, orange, and we have yellow. Whites will always be in the middle on the white side, so we skip that one. And then we have yellow, orange, blue. Perfect. Okay. So now we've entered our cube. It tells you to start solving, and then it gives you the pattern that we're going to go to. Again, remember that it'll go to the regular solve state first and then give you extra steps to get to the pattern that you selected. So you can just press this here, or you can go ahead and, little Easter egg, just press the camera button and that'll move you forward. What the screen is telling you is hold the cube so that the blue side is facing you and the yellow side is facing up. Now, I think with a lot of Rubik's Cube solving apps, they kind of tell you to move it around this way, that way. I think that's a good opportunity to start messing up, especially if you're kind of a first-time solver. So what this app does is tell you just hold it one way, and it'll kind of give you every move from this reference point. And I think that's helpful. What you may notice here is that we also have an auto turn function. So what this is a interval at which you would want the kind of cube to turn on its own. Right now it's off, but if you were to start, you'd probably want to start with every 5 seconds. If you get really good, you can do 1.5 seconds. I think it's actually kind of fun to do. Once you get really good at it, try to keep up. It's almost like a kind of a game aspect there. So for now, we'll just start with it off, and we'll kind of go through the first few moves. All right. So as you noticed, it did get my cube model correct. It didn't really matter how I entered it. We're good. So what this is the cube after the turn. So let's do the first turn. All right, it's asking me to turn the left side counterclockwise, 90 degrees. I turned, and now see that the cube there on the bottom matches what I have. So I'm going to just do a few more. I'm looking for a special kind of alert here to show you. You can just tap the screen anywhere to go to the next move. There we go. It's a turn twice. So instead of turning once, we want to turn twice. It's 180 degrees. Now be careful you search for those. I made them yellow, so hopefully they pop out at you. At this point, I want to go to a auto turn phase. And I'll go ahead and do it at kind of a medium pace here at 2.5 seconds. Okay, I'm going to press start. I've already made that turn, so it's going to go on. Turn twice. Twice. Turn twice. Auto turn twice. Okay, now I want to pause. To pause, just simply tap the screen. To resume, tap the screen again. Okay? So that makes it easier for you. Also, if you want to just turn it off, you can go ahead and turn it off there. I'll kind of show you how that looks. So I turned it off. Need to make the turn. And now I'm doing it in manual mode. There you can see. And if you want to turn it back on, just simply press that button there and select the speed you want. Now, let's say that you have to go make dinner or something, you have a life, and you abandon your app. And it actually closes in the background. Luckily, I've added a feature where you can just kind of resume where you left off. It's finding your previous spot. And so it just kind of treats it as a start again, but from where your cube should be, assuming no one fiddled with it. Okay, and so because we have an auto turn feature on, it says in 48 steps or about 2.1 minutes, you should be to checkerboard. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I'll get back to you in a little bit. That's the best. Okay, so at this point we have a solved cube, but because we're going to checkerboard, there are a few more moves to make. So let's just go through them, and I'm going to go ahead and do this manually. Okay, so I'm turning it off. And there we go, we have a checkerboard. Now it may be that you want to go back to the regular solve state. To do that, press remove pattern and then it'll take you back. There you go. Now you have your solved cube again. I want to show you one more thing. Please rate if you enjoyed this app, but let me show you one more thing. And because you're going to be solving lots of cube with this wonderful app, you're going to find that maybe you want to make patterns, and it's going to be easy to do because you're going to have a solved cube laying around, and you're going to say, I want to make a cool zigzag pattern. And if you already have a solved cube kind of in your hand, just press. My cube is solved and I want to make a pattern. Just do that. And then it'll take you to that interface you're familiar with and take you to the pattern you want. Hope you enjoyed this and hopefully you have a lot of successful solves in the future. Thanks. Bye.